Good morning, guys. This is Maria Park, and this is Approach the Nerd. We are doing our first ever Yashahime spoiler review live stream. I don't expect a lot of people to be in this stream because it is pretty early, but it is a lot easier for me to do a stream than edit a video when my alarm didn't go off on time. And if this works, this may be how I end up doing the reviews for Yashahime going forward. So yay. Disclaimer, I am doing my Ruby review and it will be for now still in the old format. So I will be posting the video in a few hours since it hasn't been released yet. But yeah. So let's just jump right in and talk about Yashahime episode 20, The Hidden Village for Half Demons. We finally got some insight on what the hell happened to Setsuna after the forest fire. And that is that Jokin, who I actually said in a previous review probably did save her, came and got her. He had Aeon with him, and he basically had Aeon take him to Shiori's hidden village. Now, throughout this episode, I kept thinking, with all the demons that kept trying to come and break through this barrier that Shiori has, that this village should actually be called the Concealed Village or the Barrier Village, because everybody knows where this village is. So I can't really call it hidden, but, whatever. Just a little nitpick. So if you remember OG Inuyasha, Shiori is a half bat demon. Her mother, Shizu, was a human, and then her father, Asuka Yomaru, was a bat demon. And in the episode, Inuyasha had to rescue her from her grandfather, and I believe his name was Taigo Kumari or something like that. But yeah, very established already in the Inuyasha universe, so not a made-up Yashahime character. But she creates a village, and this village is basically housing all of the half demons that have no families. That, some demons, half demons' parents were killed by humans, and some were killed by demons, yada, yada. And Setsuna, unfortunately, doesn't know anything because she doesn't remember anything. So yeah, they take her there to be raised by Shiori and with the other half demons, and she starts getting these parcels, parcels with notes that just say things like "cut the wind" and "cut the water" and have a blade in it. So I don't know if Jokin's writing it on behalf of Sesshomaru, or Sesshomaru is just scribbling this down and having it delivered, but essentially Setsuna is being trained already to fight, even being away from Sesshomaru. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And she's really good at it too. But at some point during this, her living in the village with Shiori, she's told that she needs to go to the human world. She actually gets a note from Sesshomaru, Jokin, whoever, and they said, you need to go to the human world. So she reluctantly goes, and that's where we see her show up at Kaide's place. So now we have some exposition now. We know why she went to Kaide. It's because she was told to by Jokin, or Sesshomaru via Jokin. It doesn't last very long. There's these bandits that keep trying to come, because they always try to come to Kaide's village and do crap, and she ends up almost killing them. And Kaide is like, no, stop doing this. So Setsuna is pretty much under the conclusion that she can't live in the human world because she's not allowed to kill these bandits. So it's not the right place for her. So she goes back to the hidden village. But then, like all half demons, Shiori is prone to losing her powers, and she loses her powers during an eclipse, which means the barrier around her half demon village is going down. And there is a demon, and his name when I saw this demon, I literally was like, really? I was like, Lady Gaga. His name is Mob Demon. I think it's Gaga Gozen, but I called him Sir Lady Gaga. And, he's taking the opportunity of her losing. I don't know how he knew that during the eclipse, Shiori loses power. And I don't know why this is just a thing now. I kind of feel like, I guess all the demons probably were coming. Maybe they were just weaker. That's what he implied. But it's interesting that they knew when Shiori's powers were going to be affected, which is interesting. That's just really interesting. But he decides he's going to go and eat some half demons because he's tired of the samurai that he ate. And what's really cool is that Miroku and Hachi are tracking him. So that was pretty cool. And Hachi's like, this guy looks like no joke. We probably should get help. And Miroku's like, meh, I got this. We'll just wait for an opening. It's Miroku. But so they attack the village, and obviously Shiori can't put the barrier up, and the other half demons are doing pretty well. You got one that had like lightning power, they different abilities basically. Unfortunately though, they're not really a match for him. And so what I found interesting too is that Setsuna, even though she has, her attacks that she was trained, she'd been training, cut the water, cut the wind, it wasn't really effective against the Naginata that she's going to eventually get, that basically is going to become her seal, which I get to in a minute. But she, Gaga uses the Naginata against her, and it breaks her blade, or basically destroys the blade she'd been training with and fighting with. And he ties her up, and then he's going to eat Shiori and two of her half demon friends, which are kind of like her family. Well, this was pretty much the wrong thing to do, because that triggers her demon blood, and she, let's just say, she called him a worm and literally she sliced and diced him. Sir Lady Gaga. He is like dead, like dead. But unfortunately, she's in that blood, lust or blood rage. And so she's about to turn on Shiori and her half demon friends too. And Miroku tries to stop her, and she almost gets him. She knocks him down, is about to cut him, and Shiori like grabs her from behind. She's like, "Breathe, calm down." And she's, Setsuna's like, you know what? She's gonna kill everybody. So Miroku uses a demon sedative that demon slayers use on Setsuna, and they use the Naginata to actually, as a conduit, like a medium, to cast the spell that we see him take off her hand, like in the episode where we finally saw Miroku like years later training for 100 days. So now we know how she knows Miroku, because I remember early in the season I did my review and she saw the monk and she's like, oh, that monk. So she had seen Miroku, but she didn't know. And she even says in this episode, she had no idea that, he was Hisue's father, even though, eventually she joined the Demon Slayers and trained with him. So that's interesting. I guess if he's been away for all this time and traveling, and then of course training extensively, she probably wouldn't have had an opportunity to meet, him. But it does make me wonder if she's met Sango. So I always have these thoughts when we have Yashahime discussions. So yeah, there are some things in this episode that were pretty cool too. Like, first of all, I love the fact that Setsuna was opening up to Toa about her past, because she's not very talkative. And Toa even says that in the episode. She's like, you're telling me a lot. But she says, well, she already told me if I ever found a lost, and alone half demon child, tell them about the village. And Toa was like, hold up, I am not a child, And then seeing Setsuna giggle. I mean, I love the fact that they're getting back to their original twin bond that they had before they were separated. So I also love the fact that Setsuna still comes when she has spare time and defends the barrier against demons trying to get in. So that's pretty cool. But there's something that caught my eye, in the scene. I guess it was really, really quick. Like, all right, so Shiori was on a hill, or I guess on a cliff, and she's talking to her bats, and they were doing like this. I call it sonar language. I don't really know what it's called. But she turns to Setsuna and she says, there is a half demon child in the east that's suffering. And I hope this child finds its way there. Is she talking about Riku? Because Korimaru is basically the beast overlord of the east. And if that is the case, if it's a half demon child that's suffering, then that would be a very big clue that Riku is angry because of how he was treated being a half demon. Because, I mean, it does bring the question, though, if Riku is, Kirimaru's son, and he is against having half demon anything, why would he father a half demon child? So it's just interesting to me, that whole thing. But I mean, I feel like they don't put that stuff in the episode for no reason. I feel like that was kind of a clue to, what's going on. And the only character I can think of from the East would be Riku. So I kind of feel like maybe she was talking about him as a child. And I think the reason Riku's doing all this crap is because he's angry that his father doesn't acknowledge him. Because he keeps saying, I only kill what I love. So it would make sense to me that is the half demon child that she's referring to. It's just something I'm throwing out there, guys, because honestly, this show has been so it's like shrouded in mystery, like so much mystery. Even things I don't think they should have as mysteries are just like, we don't need you to know this tiny, minute little detail. Like us getting Setsuna's backstory in episode 20 is weird. Like we should have known this earlier, you know, because this overall, I don't feel like this does anything to the plot or hold anything back from whatever you're planning from the plot by us knowing how she got out of the forest. I mean, Jockin saving her, or not really. I guess I can't really say he saved her. I don't know how she survived the actual fire. Like, did she hide somewhere? I mean, the entire forest was on fire. So I don't know how she was able to survive that or the smoke inhalation. Even being a half demon, I feel like that could have killed her. But, you know, I guess we're supposed to just suspend that. But Jockin finding her the next day is interesting. It's also interesting that he didn't say, "Where's your sister?" So that's an interesting thing. Like, I would love to have known Sesshomaru's reaction, realizing that one of his daughters was gone. And that, like, even seeing her, you know, when we saw Sesshomaru again, he didn't seem shocked that both of them were together. But I don't know. It's very interesting. This show always gives me a ton of questions to think about, where I just sit here and then I just stew. Even after the live stream, I will literally still have a million questions, because that's what the show does to me. Just, this is what it does. I was wondering where Miroha was, but I guess this was more of a sisterly bond type episode and not a sisters with cousins. I also wondered, where did the quarter demon go? You know, like, is that not a thing? Because I mean, if you have a lot of half demons and they're a human, then they have a quarter demon, you know, child. Are they allowed in the village? I'm just curious. Like, is that how that works? Or no, if you're a quarter demon, you're just on your own. Poor Miroha. I feel so bad for her all the time. It's just like, yeah, you're a quarter. You go over there. And that last episode last week was so filler, and it just really wasn't anything. And I hate that that was more of a Miroha-centric episode. The only good thing that came out of that is that Toa really showed that she cares about Miroha. So that was a win, but like the entire episode was pointless. So yeah, I'm glad we're getting this in episode 20. I'm glad that we're seeing that Setsuna was saved or rescued by Jockin the morning after the fire. And, you know, and we got to see, you know, Aon again, and, you know, see, you know, her flying to the village. We got to see Shiori again. We learned that Shiori's mother, actually has passed away from an illness. Which is sad, but at least we have closure on where her mother is and why her mother wasn't with her. Since if you remember in Ayasha, they were both taking in half demon children even then. So that makes sense. It's interesting. This episode was interesting. I haven't seen the preview yet for episode 21, because for some reason I watch mine on Hulu, and sometimes it doesn't always just go into the episode. Sometimes I don't get the preview. It doesn't post a preview until hours later. So I have to go find it on YouTube, and usually it's the Japanese version. But I will be checking that out. But I don't know. I have questions. I really want to know what you guys think about Riku being the half demon child, potentially, that Shiori was talking about when she was getting the message from the bat about the half demon child of the East suffering. I really want to know what you think about that. But yeah, Miss Allen P, hello. I guess it can be assumed that it was Cecily Jockin who brought her the Mocha Mocha. Yes, I think every delivery she was getting was from Seshu via Jockin. Because Jockin doesn't normally do things on his own, though he did promise Rin that he would take care of the girls. So, but now I need the next episode to be, and I haven't seen the new trailer yet, but I need to have Rin's story in this. Why is she asleep? Why is she tethered to her daughter? You know, what was the need for the dream butterfly? Because they're making it seem like Karimaru created this dream butterfly, and that's, you know, that he did this, and Shomaru's linked to him somehow, and that's why he can't kill him, because the Shomaru and him were fighting and they were pretty evenly matched. But I have full faith in my boy Sessho that he could take Karimaru out. So Karimaru has something on Sesshomaru, or Sesshomaru is forced to do what Karimaru, you know, basically what Karimaru wants, but he's not, like, he did not let him kill his daughters. Like, he, like, literally when that sword came down, he was like, "Oh, you're crossing the line, you know, MF." So I thought that was really cool. But yeah, I don't know. I really want us to have, because we're getting so close to the end of the season. I think we only get, what, 26 episodes? I believe 25, 26. I mean, we're on 20. It's going to be 21 next week. I just need to know why Rin is asleep, why she's in this tree, what Kurimaru has to do with this dream butterfly. I need to know all of this information. And I hate that we're getting all the backstory at the end. I understand it's the element of surprise, but come on, guys. It would have been a lot cooler if we had all this information up front and then you did your twists and turns. So if I'm going to have a nitpick, again, it's going to be because they literally shield us from information that I feel is completely stupid. Like, I do. I feel like we could have known what happened with Sesshomaru and Rin and all that from the beginning, and then found a way to work out how to fix it. Because right now we're still learning all this stuff, and then the last 2-3 episodes will be how are we going to get this resolved, or if we're going to get it resolved, because maybe they're trying to get a season 2 and get everything resolved in the next season. So yeah, this has been the longest exposition season I think I've ever seen in any anime. So that's saying a lot. And again, I understand patience. I understand that Inuyasha, did have a lot of slow burn, but they also had a lot of revelations pretty early on because Kaide talked a lot. So we got to learn a lot of stuff through Kaide and Inuyasha. Kaide is not talking as much in this. She's probably done 2 very meaningful conversations. And then we don't really see her enough to get any more information. So yeah, I want to know what's going to happen going forward. But overall, this was a lot better than the filler episode we had that I thought was completely pointless and a waste of 30 minutes last week. So at least we got a little bit more. We got to see exactly what Setsuna, went through. We got to see, as far as I'm concerned, she had a pretty good upbringing with Shiori. If Shiori is the one that took care of her, it could have been a lot worse. She could have been like Miroku, pretty much sold into slavery by her master to pay off her debts. So, yeah, I think Setsuna got the better end of that deal. Honestly, Toa technically got the best, obviously end of the deal. She got to go to the future and be raised by, Kagome's brother. So being raised by Sota is not something that I really feel is, a punishment. Living in the modern times, having your own room. Yeah, she had to fight a lot, but I mean, that's her nature anyway. She's half demon, so it wasn't like she was hurting. So yeah, but yeah, I love Setsuna's origin story. I want to know what you guys think. So guys, please leave me a comment below and let me know. And let me know if you like this live streaming format, because pretty early. I see there's probably 11 people looking. Hopefully there'll be more later. And you're always welcome to leave comments because I love reading all the theories you guys have. But it's a lot easier to do it this way. Especially that means I don't have to get up at 5 a.m. every Saturday. I don't have a problem doing that. But if you like this format and it gives you like a window, of things to actually think about in terms of what you're going to put in the comments below, then I will do this again on next Saturday. But my Ruby review, I'll just stick to the old format because it would be very strange for me to have 2 live streams back to back since the shows are so close together on Saturday morning. So that one should be out or posted on the website, I believe at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, and it's 8:40 now. So I will be, I'll watch it and then I'll post my review about an hour later. So you will have that. If you're Ruby fans, you'll have that video out today too. So yay. But yeah, just let me know. And also, if you're Charm fans, I am going to do my first ever Charmed live stream review after the show airs, because I do my videos that night and sometimes I don't get them out till midnight. And I kind of don't want to do that. I kind of want to have them out a lot earlier so I can go to sleep. So sleeping, guys, it's all about sleeping. So yeah. Let me know what you think about this format below, and let me know what you think about the episode. And again, is Riku the child she was talking about, the half demon child in the East? I would love to know that. But thanks for jumping on this stream, guys. Yay. We made it to almost 20 minutes. This is awesome. I hope you have a great Saturday and be on the lookout for my Ruby review. Bye, guys.